It feels so official right now.
It does, yeah.
Like sitting in here like this, like I feel like we've been a ragtag group for so long in the other room.
Hot, sweaty room.
In a hot, sweaty. I know.
Lights and like monitors in front of us.
Yeah, I know.
It's a
Yeah.
whole different gear.
What am I going to do when I'm not sweating during the show? Hello, everyone. This is Trends with Benefits. This is our weekly roundtable podcast, now more roundtable-y, here from Digital Trends, where we talk about the trending tech topics of the day. We've got a lot to get to right now. We are broadcasting, of course, live on Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook, which means we can take your comments and your questions, whatever you want to talk about. We will get to that. We've got, like I said, lots to get to. We're going to be talking about Google Lens and what that is. I think half the table may know, half doesn't, but we'll talk about what that is. We're going to talk about Red Dead Redemption because it's awesome, and I want to. So we're going to talk about Red Dead. We're going to talk about that here in just a few, and we're also going to be having a hands-on review of a new laptop that is just 2 screens. It's 2 screens, no actual keyboard. But first, we're going to be talking about Apple. So Apple having their what feels like 1,000th announcement of this year. It's their 4th, but their 4th event is happening next week, and there's a lot of rumors associated with that. It's going to be a new Mac or a new MacBook or a new MacBook Air. We've kind of got a rundown of what those rumors are, but we want to know from you, what do you wish that Apple would announce? What do you want to hear from Apple? So as we're going live, go ahead and, like I said, drop those comments in and let us know, and we will cover those throughout the show. But let's introduce our roundtable cast of characters. I guess now that we're set up like this, I'll go left first and then around. Do you go clockwise or counterclockwise?
Pass the blunt to the left.
Yeah, for those of you,
That's how it goes. You know,
that's how it works. Okay, yes, that's exactly what we do here. All right, I'm Greg Nibler. To my left.
Drew Prindle, the emerging technologies editor here at Digital Trends.
Hello, Drew, and passing it across the table.
Thank you. Adrien Wartner, I'm a producer here at Digital Trends.
Excellent, and
Luke Larsen, I'm the associate editor in computing.
excellent. All right, so let's talk about this Apple event. So, like I said, it is their 4th event of the year, and they just did the iPhone, announcement. What was that, like a month ago or so?
It wasn't too long ago. So we already got the phones. We already got the new watch.
Yep.
What else do we have?
What else is
Missing.
left to go
What's
to?
left? Like, what other like core products are they likely to like refresh? Because I feel like this isn't going to be something new,
Yeah.
right? I just don't get the impression that this is something groundbreaking. If it was, they would make way more of a deal of this.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they're doing it in Brooklyn, well, I guess, does that mean it's less exciting because it's in Brooklyn or
Yes.
more? Okay. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so.
Do it at the spaceship campus or whatever. Like,
Yeah, if it was a big
if
deal.
it was a huge deal, some crazy reveal.
Well, and that's actually a good point. So maybe that would be what it is. But I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are excited about maybe a new MacBook. So some of the rumors that they're talking about is a replacement for the MacBook Air, which that has been, and Luke can correct us all if we're wrong. That's been a little while, right?
It's been a little while.
It's been a
I
little
don't know
while.
how many articles I've written about this. Probably
About
over.
when are they going to do another one?
About how whether or not they're going before every Apple event. I'm like, okay, this is it. They're gonna finally release another MacBook or replacement of the MacBook Air because it's been so many years.
Yeah.
Since and people have just been buying these MacBook Airs that are like 4 years. The processor is like so old at this point. They're selling old computers for full price.
Yeah, but people are still buying
And
them.
people are still buying them because
Yeah,
people
'cause it's
always
Apple.
buy the
It,
cheap
yeah.
MacBook. So
Right.
That's why I've just been waiting and hoping all year for them to finally like do this. And I think it actually is going to happen.
Okay. So you think
put my
they're actually
money
going to get
down.
something?
Put your money down on the new
Putting my money down. There will be.
If you
some
were
kind
betting,
of
if you were
new
betting, this is what you would say.
laptops.
yes,
A new
It
laptop.
will be a new laptop.
So there's the potential of 3 new Macs, and I will say this for those of you who are tuning in live, the podcast, you already know what's going on, but for the live viewers, we just hopped onto Facebook right now. So we're talking about right now the Apple event coming up next week, which we want to know what you would like Apple to announce, or what you would hope they would announce, or you wish or dream, or however you want to do it. I'm seeing some comments come in here. Pick whichever one. So Rick says Mac Mini, high-end laptop, and a tower. What are the chances we get a tower out of Apple?
No, nil, zero. There will be not be.
Mac Pro.
Yeah, actually, they are working on a Mac Pro, but they've already said that it's going to be like a 2019.
Okay.
product, so
What
it's
was-
out there.
What was the one where they had which computer was it with like the different colors, like the orange and then the
iMac?
iMac? Yes, what was it like? iMac. There we go. Something there.
Hey, I mean, their phones are in colors. Why don't they bring their laptops back
Yeah.
in colors?
There's other people saying, okay, well, Rick is very upset that you just dashed his dreams about no
Aw.
tower.
Wait, it'll
Sorry,
be there.
Rick.
It'll come.
Darren is saying they are overpriced. That
Fair.
Macs are overpriced.
New.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that's groundbreaking right there. I think we already kind of knew that. But there's also the potential that a new iPad may be coming out. So what do you think the possibilities are of that?
Really high. I think that'll
Really?
be the main. I think the main thing will be a new iPad Pro. It'll have slimmer bezels. It'll have Face ID maybe.
The
Bezels
standard suite of like slight improvements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Excited about just the most minor processor.
I just made all that up, but
I
that's
don't
probably
know,
what it'll be.
they'll jazz it up and have somebody on a lake, using the iPad. That'll be the thing. But look, we can use it on a lake now.
Although one thing, they do have they announced recently that a full version of Photoshop and like Adobe products you can do on an iPad. So I think that's they'll probably emphasize that a lot. I think.
Actually, that's kind of a big deal. I guess they're chasing like the Surface and other design tools. That's cool.
That's a good point. Yeah. So do you think that's kind of what they're going to kind of go for? That's
I think that'll
part of
be
the
a
big announcement.
Yeah, it'll be a big. They'll emphasize it a lot.
Okay. Well,
Do you guys know anybody who uses like Photoshop and like Lightroom and Adobe whatever like on a tablet?
My mother.
that's true.
As a
My
professional
mother.
that's like, okay, yeah, there we go. Maybe that's the market that they're going after.
seeing some of the comments come through here, there's some more too. Earpods that actually come with my $1,200 phone. Yeah.
That would be
Well-
information, but fat chance, dude. No way.
You already paid $1,200 for the phone. What's another couple $100 at that point?
Dongles and the earphones are like ink cartridges. That's where they're making their money.
Ink cartridges is
Big
that's
ink.
the racket to get into. I mean, seriously, that is the business to be in right there. Admiral says OS X for PCs. Nah, kind of doubting. Kind of doubting. Oh, and so, Courtney said she wants a robotic cat. So to compete with the robotic dog.
That's Sony.
Yeah, IBO.
Yeah.
Beat you to the punch on this one.
iCat.
Who says Apple can't innovate?
Do you think they'll come out with a new Apple TV for their whole launch of
That's a good
streaming
point.
services?
Actually-
I mean, I honestly don't know what would need to update. on
That's
an
another
Apple
thing we've
TV.
been talking about forever, like potentially Apple like updating Apple TV and giving it like Siri integration or like Apple Home integration,
Right.
so you can talk to it like an Alexa and have it
Right.
control your TV and do all of that stuff, and it's kind of just bundled into one. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
They
and
have the little HomePod or whatever now, so they've kind of
big
broken
HomePod.
everything out. Yeah, it is a big HomePod.
right. And the HomePod is really expensive, and Google and Amazon are just frankly doing it far better so far. So, I mean, do you think we're going to see any kind of a HomePod? I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're already in the Apple ecosystem, you're probably going to buy it anyway. For a lot of people, they'll just buy it because it's Apple.
Yeah.
Luke is shaking
There'll always
his head.
be those people. I think. I don't know. What is there's a new streaming thing, right? They have a new streaming service.
Yeah.
Yes. So
They're
there's
launching a streaming service to like, what was it, 100 different countries? or
100 different
something?
countries. It should be launching, I believe, maybe the end of this year or beginning of next year, where they're going to have, if you do own an Apple product, you're going to, I think it's if an iPhone, a computer, or an iPad, you would get their
But
original
not the
content for
HomePod.
free. Yeah, not the HomePod. But you
Watch it
get,
on the HomePod?
they bought $1 billion, they're investing $1 billion into original content. And so they've got like Steve Carell involved
lot of
and
faith in that.
a bunch of other people. Yeah.
I know.
Right. And so if you have an Apple device, you'll be able to get that content for free. And then you can add on like HBO or other kinds of things like from there. So that's one of the things. So maybe a new Apple TV. Let's see. There's a lot of comments coming through. It'd be nice for Apple to innovate again like they used to.
You know what I'd like to see? Like a full-on like robot, like a home robot. Not
would
not just like an AI assistant that you can shout at and she'll tell you the lyrics to songs or whatever. Like a
You want to
full-on.
see Siri?
I want
You
a
wanna-
butler.
I want like Bicentennial Man.
Yeah.
Status robot that can be like my butler. Like,
Yeah.
Hello, Drew.
you
Welcome
got
home.
$1 trillion. Come on, like give me the
Do
robots
something
already.
with it.
That's true. Literally $1 trillion.
Seriously.
Where is our damn iButler? Okay, that's what we need. I think that's it.
iBut.
What else can you say there? We need an iBut. The iBut. All right, so all right, we've got some other things to get to. So we're going to be keep dropping your comments and your questions in there. We will keep going back to where what you're talking about and what you want to see come from Apple. We're also going to be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 here in a minute and Google Lens. And to wrap out the show, I do have a creepy AI portrait that we're going to show, and it'll creep you out, I guarantee. So we've got a bunch of stuff. I do see that some people are talking about wanting another, let's see, their iPads will take over the 2-in-1 or convertible market slowly. Well, we've got something here that we wanted to show right now.
Kind of fits into that.
Which kind of fits into that. I
segue, let's
I
do it.
wedged it in there. I wedged the transition. But Luke has with us right now. We're just going to kind of walk this through, and especially for those of you listening via podcast, we'll kind of explain what we're talking about. But it's a new what would it be a 2-in-1? Would that be the safe way to call it?
I think it's a 2-in-1. It's more than that. I would say it's like it's trying to replicate many different
2.5.
Yeah.
many different products all in one thing, which is we'll see. It's part of the problem. But
So this is the Lenovo Yoga.
Yoga Book C930 or Yoga Book 2 is what they should have called it. But, it's the second generation of the Yoga Book.
Okay, so we've got and so what's special about this one?
So what's really special about it is that it doesn't have a keyboard. So, I mean, I think some people will be like, that's not a laptop because it doesn't have a keyboard. But it doesn't have a keyboard at all. And I'll show you the first cool thing about it is how it opens. As you can see, it's extremely thin. Extremely thin and extremely light, and so thin that it's hard to really open it. With you can try.
They just built a notch
is
in the front.
But
Now it's like an infomercial. Try and open it, Steve. There's
they've-
no way you can.
they thought this through. Oh, it did it. It did it on its own. But what it's supposed to do is, if you give it a knock, it'll open.
Wake up.
Wow.
Hello.
Good morning.
There you go.
Impressive. Okay, there it is.
And then you can then open it from there, which is kind of cool.
Okay, so
cool
you
in a-
knock on it and it'll open up
in a
by
kind of
itself in theory.
Techie way, yeah.
Okay.
So, and then there you can get a shot of it. No physical keyboard.
So that is not a keyboard. That's just a.
It's an
Oops,
e-ink
and I just kind of
screen, right?
messed
it's
something
an
up there.
e-ink screen, like like when you have like on your Kindle or something, which is kind of cool, and you can kind of push the keys down as if you had a real keyboard there, and basically the typing experience is not great.
So
You
I
tried
wanted
it
to
out.
ask you about
Bummer.
that because I actually got a chance to try this thing out earlier in the week, and it's just like you don't really have any like reference points for where a key begins and ends, like on your fingers. It's not like it's like-
Yeah.
you don't. There's no tactile response coming from the keyboard, which makes it like
Really?
just really vague and hard to do. Did you get any better at it? Like I felt like when I use it, you could maybe get good at it if you practiced and like spent like a day or two with it. Have you gotten any better than you were initially?
I will say I've gotten better. I think I've gotten a little more comfortable with just where the keys are.
Okay.
But I spent like a solid 2 hours. I was like editing this really long review, and by the end of it, like my fingers were actually like really tired, just because it feels a lot like typing on an iPad to me, which is not anything.
Which is a clunky
anybody wants to do.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just because it's like, oh, it's a keyboard, because it's a keyboard layout, that doesn't make it a keyboard. It still feels like you kind of have to like poke around for your feel of where the keys are.
Yeah, that would be hard for me because I mean, it's not like you're staring at your fingers when you're typing.
No.
Like, you have to really remember exactly where. I don't know. That's strange.
You cannot touch type with this at all.
Yeah.
You have to like really look down at your fingers and
Yeah.
So if you can't touch type with it, what else can you do with that other screen? Like what else? What is it good for? Like what can you do with it?
The main cool thing you can do outside of the keyboard is stuff with the stylus. And I actually think this is...
So it's like a notepad.
It's like a notepad, and you can kind of see...
So if you write something, it'll
And-
like recognize what letter you write and then make it into text or something like that? Does it do that?
not that cool.
Oh, it's not that cool.
Handwriting recognition?
No, it does.
Okay.
Well, no, it's mostly to replicate a really natural drawing experience, and it actually feels really good.
Can I try?
Yeah, go for it.
So, and for those of you listening to the podcast, like you hit a button and then it basically turned into like it looks like notebook paper.
Yeah.
You can use the stylus to draw on it,
Don't push that button.
and
But basically, I think a normal 2-in-1 where you're writing on the screen that's up like this all the time, like that's a really uncomfortable, like not natural thing. Whereas writing down on a flat surface is great, like this.
right. So, and I'm seeing some of the comments. Darren says, if I pay extra, can I get a real keyboard? So there's definitely, I'm not sure if everybody's super enthralled with it, but I do kind of like this idea myself. What is the pricing? Like, when is this out?
It's not out yet. It's
Okay.
My review is live at the website, but it's $1,000.
Okay.
And-
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's expensive,
Yeah.
but it is a full like the laptop experience in terms of like performance and stuff. It actually is. It's good enough.
Okay.
It has a really great screen. So they kind of like have done all
It
those
is small.
those things, and it's really small. It's similar to like a Surface Go in terms of its size. We had that on the show a while ago, but yeah, it's by far the most interesting laptop I've used, maybe ever.
Okay.
Just because of what it's trying to do.
Do you think we're going to see more laptops go towards this model? And like, ditching the keyboard altogether? No.
No, you
Nah.
will see more. You will see more of these. Whether or not they will be successful, I have no idea. But next year, I think
put money on it.
There's got to be a way to add back some of that like tactile feel to make that like
something. Yeah, you can't even.
That's what's
It doesn't
missing.
even vibrate or anything when you.
It does like a.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of vibration.
what I heard over
It's
here.
pretty not impressive though. It doesn't really help you in any significant way. I didn't think it really gives you a sense that you're typing. But yeah, that's what it's missing. Once it's there, I mean, if this
Yeah.
every time I pick it up, I'm like, I can't. I need something I can actually type on. So I just
Right.
It didn't
Set
really
it
work
aside.
like that for me.
Well, that's so the review is up right now.
Review's up.
DigitalTrends.com.
Check
You
it
can go
out.
there
A
and
lot of other interesting stuff about it too. So check
and
it
take
out.
a look at there. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks. And I do want to say this. So we are live, and I'm seeing some other, some questions. Will the second screen with the keyboard convert to a regular display? So you could have like two displays going at the same time?
You can't, but that would be cool.
That's
So
weird.
it sounds like everything that we could do that was
hell
cool.
do you have two screens for?
Then why don't you just have a keyboard on it? Okay. All right.
Look how thin it is.
Yay!
All right. Well, sorry, that was Paulo on YouTube. So nope. The answer is no. All right. So we do have some other things to get to. I do want to again remind everybody, because we are taking the comments and questions because we're live, seeing some people talk about this. Let's see. Justin says the biggest downside to all 2-in-1s or convertible or foldables is the keyboards. No one has really got it right, and that is, I suppose, kind of an issue.
This definitely confirms that hypothesis, right?
Confirmed. That was Justin, so it's sealed and stamped. Justin said so. So we're good to go right there. All right, let's go on, and we do want to circle back around though and talk about Apple again, because I know this is kind of a big deal for a lot of people what they're going to be announcing at their event next week. But we have a couple other things to get to, and I wanted to talk about this: Red Dead Redemption. This has been one of the biggest stories all week long. Like, I follow a lot of what's trending, and this has been at or near the top all week because Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out tomorrow. Now, is anybody in here a Red Dead Redemption Original 1 fan?
Yes. Didn't play the entire thing, I will admit, but I did play it enough to just be like, oh my god, this rocks.
It is. It was an amazing game.
So much fun. And by the look of it, this new one is even better. Our review is up on the site right now, and we gave it a 10 out of 10. I don't know if you guys saw that. It actually, like, the headline.
We do not do that very often.
We don't do that a lot. And I think it was, what did they say? It was like the best open world game of all time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is a super glowing review.
That's a lot
We do
to
not
say.
hand out lightly.
And that was Stephen Petit who
Yes.
gave that review. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the best open world game of all time. I feel like he should have just added "Fight Me" at the end of it.
I don't think anybody would. Like, it seems like everybody kind of agrees with this sentiment.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing, like what the reviews, and he's not the only one that is loving it. There's a lot of people that seem to be really excited about it. But I'm curious for people watching too. Is this too much hype for what we're seeing? Like, just for a video game, is it really that good? I mean, is anybody in here going to buy it right away?
I don't think.
I don't have the console to play it on, but
I don't have the like 500 hours of time.
That's
that
really
an open
it.
world game like
That's
that
the other
requires.
Anytime I pick up like a sandbox game like this, I'm like, I do like a mission or two, and then I shoot a lot of things, and I'm like, cool, I'm done.
And I'm out.
bye.
Man, if I were 16, I would
Right.
just sink a whole weekend into this.
But it's beautiful. I would certainly like.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm going to pick it up. I'm gonna get it. I may not get it this weekend because I have. It's like you were saying, like I don't have any time to play it, but I want to play it so badly. Like the problem is
It's been since the original.
It's
the original was
8 years, right?
8 years. Yeah, 2010's when the original came out, and it was on the Xbox 360. So that's how long it's been that they've been working on this game.
And the PS3, right?
Was it? Yeah, it must have been PS3 back then. Yeah. So I mean, it's been a long time. I think that saying it's the greatest greatest open world game of all time is such a bold statement. And I encourage everybody to go to Digital Trends too and read the review. I mean, that's like we said, 10 out of 10 is not something that happens very often around here. So you can check out everything at Digital Trends when it comes to that. I think the bottom line is just I'm really excited, and that's why I wanted to play it.
It's cool. I always like it when video games make like big headline news. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't know. It's a little bit more exciting than another Apple device. It's
Yeah.
something that's a lot of people. Well, everybody puts a lot of time into everything they make, but you know what I
Right.
mean. Like it's just it's interactive. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a really exciting. I'm excited for it. We'll see how it is tomorrow, and we'll see how many people go out and get it. I'm still seeing people coming through with their questions and comments about Apple, so obviously we'll go back to that too. And we have a couple other stories that we're gonna get to. But just to reiterate, for those of you watching live, Apple has their event on Tuesday. We'll have a whole DT crew there. Are you gonna be there, Luke?
I'm not gonna be there. It's in New York. We have Julian's going though,
Oh,
so
gotcha.
he'll be covering it all.
So we'll have a bunch of people there. But what would you like to see Apple announce? The iButler was obviously, the hit from up here.
iBut, come on.
Come on.
iBut for short. The kids call it the iBut. What are you gonna do? But yeah, that's one of the things that we were. So keep dropping in your comments and your questions on that, and we'll make sure we get to that. Justin, referring back to the yoga review, for $1,000, it needs at least 8 to 10 gigabits of RAM, and ideally a decent graphics card rather than onboard graphics.
Yeah, barking up the wrong tree on that one. This is not a high-performance laptop, so it's what you're paying for is that extra screen and some of the thinness,
And the wake up.
the wake up.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
There we go. That's
Yeah,
like
that's the
500
big
It's actually
part.
really cool. It uses magnets to
Yeah.
It's cool.
I'm a sucker for giving
You got a magnet, I'm in. Here's $1,000 right now. Take it. A couple other comments. Darren says, Apple was developing an electric car a while back. I wonder if it's going to be that. No.
chance in hell.
Nope. That's the other thing between home, like smart home speakers and the car. They just do not seem to have come up with anything on that. I know that I believe they're still working on it. Still test driving it? Drew, do you know?
They're just going to acquire some other company.
That's true.
who
With $1
does it.
trillion,
Yeah, they're just going to wait until some startup does it really good and poses a challenge to Waymo, and they'll be like, well, that's ours now. That's what they're
Here's
going
a
to do.
check. I'll take it. Yeah, that probably is what's gonna happen. Well, one of their rivals, Google, also making a lot of news this week, and I'm kind of surprised by this because it's not a tool that I use a lot. But if you have an Android, there's a program called Google Lens, which is, it's kind of cool. You can hold it up to basically real-world objects, and it will help you identify what they are. Do you use it at all?
I do remember now that you say that. I do remember that.
I remember this from a long time
It's been a
ago.
while.
It
That's
was
why I
It
didn't.
wasn't super good, but it was still kind of impressive.
Mm-hmm.
This was years ago, 5 or 6
Yeah.
years ago or something like that. So this is
Right.
It's been reborn with
Now-
probably way better AI now.
Well, now it's been reborn as you can use it while you're searching online. So you can use it in image search. So say you're looking at a picture, it'll.
You're like, what is this picture? I don't know.
I want to buy it.
I can't Google it. But it will identify things in the picture, and there's a new lens button that will pop up on your Android. You can hit that lens button, and it'll pop up what it identifies in there.
That's pretty cool. That's really, really cool. Because you can't tell what generation or style or colorway a certain type of shoe is or something, and then it would take you to that one.
Yep.
That's pretty neat.
That's exactly what it would do. I think, and one of the things too is you can also now draw with your finger, like if you want to circle something in a picture, and it will then pop that out and then identify for you. I think a lot of it is going to be here's how you can buy this.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much what we're going to be doing with that. Is what it kind of seems to be.
Yeah.
It's a purchasing tool, but I'm curious for anybody watching if that's something that's exciting to you, because there's a lot of people that have been looking this up all week.
So what's the news there? It's is this out now? They've released a
It's
refresh?
it's released now, and I think it might be a little bit of a rolling release, but for a lot, my phone's too old for it. But I think
Got an update today.
so maybe you
that's
have it on
good.
there right
Here,
now.
try it on me.
Can you buy anything he's wearing?
Purchase one for you.
Let's see if this works.
Yeah. So you do have it on there.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, this is from the
normal
actual Google Lens. Okay. Well, so the one that's going to be on there now, if
No,
you
no, it doesn't
identify
now. It
thinks it's an
searches
IKEA
when
cookie
you're
sheet.
searching.
It thinks it's an IKEA cookie sheet.
That's what it thinks your laptop. It thinks your laptop is an IKEA
Yeah.
cookie sheet.
I mean, that's a pretty good guess.
It's square.
pretty flat.
I don't know if
probably.
you've seen a lot of IKEA cookie sheets, but that's pretty damn
I think
close
that's
right
the next test we have to do. We've got a kitchen here.
It's a
at Digital
5-in-1.
Trends.
It also serves as a cookie
See
sheet.
if we can cook cookies on it. All right. So that's anyway. That's one of the things that was the big story this week was Google Lens. I think it sounds like a lot of people are using it. So we'll have to try that out. All right. We've got just a few minutes left, and we will circle back around to some of the Apple. Joe says Apple iBitcoin is what you want to see.
Oh, there we go.
That's that. Now we're talking. Now we're talking some Bitcoin.
Cash.
So the last thing I wanted to bring up was was this. And I do see a couple of the questions on YouTube, and so is that the Lenovo cookie sheet? It's all new. So we'll take a look at that. The last thing I wanted to bring up just has to do with this. It's an AI-drawn portrait that was sold at Christie's and for an auction for 400.
Is it going up for auction, or is it actually sold already?
It is actually sold.
It's already sold. Okay.
Yeah, so we've got an article on it. I think I'll probably be updated here just to acknowledge that. So it was sold for, I believe, $425,000 was what the price was as far as what it was sold. But the image of it, and if you can take a look at, if you're watching, you can see what the image is. It's pretty creepy. So what happened is this group, it's an art collective, fed a computer a whole bunch of different historical portraits, and then had it try to paint what it thought was a historical portrait. And it's this guy that looks like he's ghostly, like floating there with hardly a face. And that's what the computer thinks.
And the art community just crapped itself like, oh my god,
oh my god, look at the art. Meanwhile, there's artists out there who've been working for years to create something like here's this thing is making this. I don't know. Would you? What do you guys think about this? Like about AI becoming artists?
So, I mean, we've seen this before in like a lot of other areas.
Yeah, like music.
Everybody will train. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They'll take like every song on Spotify and train an AI to write its own music based on that data set. Or like there was one that actually came out today where there's a full novel now. That it's written in the style of Jack Kerouac. It's like On the Road, but like written by a machine, and it's completely incomprehensible. But
Yes.
still, like people just eat it up. They're like, "Oh my god, this is a new art form." And I mean, like, it kind of poses that question, right? Like, can machines be creative? Like, when do we really reach that point? Like where it kind of rivals like human creativity,
Right.
So it's interesting in that regard. But I will say, what was it, like $400,000?
$432 actually $1,000.
How much did Banksy's thing go for? It was like multiple millions.
Like
Dude,
1.5 million.
Robots.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's cheap.
I just want to know who has $432,000 to spend on an AI painting.
Art enthusiasts.
Art enthusiasts.
They're gonna regret that in like
Philanthropist.
6 months.
I mean, I think that was like one of the first. I mean, it was the first AI artwork that went up on Christie's, which is kind of like a weird qualifier. Like, it's not the first AI artwork that's ever been made.
Not at
it's
all.
just like the first one that's sold at auction.
Let's see. Dan on YouTube says, "Wow, that is hideous." Yep.
Aw.
Yep.
You just don't appreciate it, man. You know, you don't have the critic's eye.
Yeah,
brush
Dan.
strokes, they just speak to how the artist
Right.
is such a tortured soul.
You just don't
Really,
get it.
It's moving.
So, was it actually painted in any real way, or was it just like
I think it
an
was
image that was
generated.
Generated.
Just
Yeah.
put a bunch of sixes together.
There wasn't like
Right.
a robot arm. Like
This is
Yeah,
what
that would be way cooler,
that would
right?
be way cooler.
the torture. Put a little beret on it. Anyway, you could take a look at that, and if you have 450 grand, maybe you can outbid and buy it from whoever just got it right there. All right, well, I think that's probably about it for today. Again, taking a look at all the comments and questions coming through. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. So this is Trends with Benefits, and we're live here from our brand new studio, the brand new DT Live Studios here at Digital Trends. Also, of course, available as a podcast. You can pick up the podcast anywhere you get podcasts. Hit that subscribe button and join us every week live, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, and then hop back in with us tomorrow morning for DT Daily. Now live every weekday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Join us. We'll catch you up on everything that's going on for the day. And thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with another episode.